I've watched many great movies that I know I will never watch again. This is one of those. It was awesome. I expected more. It was I enjoyed the shit out of this. This is one of the most gorgeously shot movies that I have ever seen.
If me and you never got married, this would be our lives. Sometimes I forget how much Jim Henson's characters influenced me. I'm an hour in and I'm like, has
An
anything R
hour.
rated even happened? Ending is a little weird, but I feel like this is a kind of movie that they could not end properly. The brutality of this movie,
Yes.
I was not fully expecting because I kind of went into this blind. I didn't know much about it. I think it's just friends being friends and just reliving their
Yeah.
childhood.
It was a love letter overall to Hollywood stuntmen as well, like in the background. My thing with this movie is that it does what it needs to do, and that's pretty much it. It has a plot, it has some backstory. This was good. It was like had epic shots, but it wasn't like over the top stylistic shots. It was just a simple revenge story. I find this movie weirdly brilliant, not because of the drop storylines or anything like that. This movie and this franchise is specifically this director's vibe.
And I think that's why this movie failed, though. I think fans of the games are pissed, and people who just wanted to see a movie are like, well, this is based on the game. This is probably going to be shit. So I think that didn't do well. I'll be honest, I felt like Michael Keaton was a waste. Jenna Ortega's
What?
story was the only thing that saved this film. Like, that was interesting, and a lot of things got cut off. Yeah, I think he could have been a lot better. Anne Hathaway has a killer song. Like, after she was done, I'm like, holy shit, she has chops. And I looked up, she actually won Best Supporting Actress for this film. But they did things in Scream 6, which they've never done in the Scream franchise, which shocked me because you kind of fall. We talked about those tropes.
Super informative. It's one of those documentaries that is not super long. I think it's like maybe an hour and a half long, so it's in and out. But really well done. Love the music. Love the vibe. Eraserhead is probably one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen in my life. I kind of fell towards you know what? I was all in on this idea, and then you kind of made it go in this other direction that I wasn't feeling, and then it just ended. The dialogue was a little cute in this movie, but man, this is the definition of a solid 8 because there's so many internet jokes where it's like meow 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 meow. So when I hear that song, it takes away from the emotional impact.
I've seen this movie
Yeah.
multiple times in different formats. There was nothing new that it brought to the table. This movie did everything. It's a very original story. Even outside of the transition part, there's a
Yeah.
lot of meat to this, and it is a great musical. And plus, we need to be there for each other when we go through this. We need to learn this now because we have nobody else because our moms are dead. I swear to God, Soto, that was a fucking line by a child in this movie.
There's all these amazing, fantastic themes throughout this movie that I was not expecting at all.
A lot of romance movies get their tropes from this movie.
I think it's very well done. I think it's a little bit on the absurd side. Just kind of showing what it was like at the end of the Civil War, what it was like with the Confederates, and sort of what it was for them to kind of band together and kind of fight back for their own freedoms.
That's such a heartwarming thing. And then they end it with adventure and body slams. Like, all
That
right.
is you just summed up the movie for me in a better way than I could.
The first year, the year Jordan made 164 million. To this
Wow.
day, Michael Jordan still makes 400 million a year off those
Oh, I
shoots.
believe it. You know, this is a great kids movie. The colors are awesome. The special effects are great. It's got a great story to it. It's got a lot of slapstick with which kids love.
But overall, it wasn't too much new, but I did enjoy it. That makes sense, because obviously, again, the nostalgia kicked in.
But I think this is the original way to watch it, so I'm kind of glad I did. But man, it took a toll on me after a while. I don't know where this movie was trying to go. If it was trying to be a comedy or a very bad horror movie, Soto.
feels the most kind of like normal movie that Robert Eggers has done, and it does its thing and it gets out, but it didn't have that Robert Eggers style. It wasn't for me. And then the martial arts was all centered around what seemed to be metal umbrellas, which I'm not sure how historically accurate it is. This movie scared the shit out of me because it kind of reminded me of like real life. So it was like really terrible that this is going on and just how kind of people act like freaking maniacs. So end of watch for me, humongous whatever that I've watched this year.
I was just happy. I was in a happy place, Soto. There is this theory that Bohemian Rhapsody, no one chooses that song for their favorite song, but everyone loves it.